So today what we want to do is figure out what is a sonnet. And your job tonight for homework is to map Sonnet 18. So I want to show you what mapping is and show you how to do it. So let's go through these different slides and try to figure it out. What I want to know about a sonnet is that it's definitely a poem. So when you think about poems, it's going to have figurative language to it. But what makes a sonnet so different from other poems is that it has exactly 14 lines. So I want you to take a moment right now. I want you to grab your pen or your pencil, and I want you to go to Sonnet 18, which is tonight's homework. And on the left-hand side, and this would be your left, I want you to number the lines, with the first line being number 1 and the last line being number 14. We always number the lines in poetry. One of the second things that makes a sonnet so special is that it's written in iambic pentameter. In iambic pentameter, if you look at the word here, it has the word meter in it, and I'm going to explain to you what meter means. Lastly, what we need to really understand about a sonnet is that it has to have a rhyme scheme. It is specific. So we're going to take a look. If you look at your homework for tonight, it's to label the rhyme scheme. And I'm going to show you what rhyme scheme is and how you figure it out. And don't forget that sonnets always begin with a problem in the very beginning, but the end of the sonnet offers the solution. So let's talk about iambic pentameter. Is like the beat that is in the poem. And I want you to think about those people who play a musical instrument. If you play one, then you know you use your foot to establish the beat. You help keep the meter or the beat or the rhythm in music. Even if you don't play an instrument, you probably have found yourself tapping along to the beat of music. Well, sonnets have a beat to them, and most specifically, it's going to have a beat where we use our foot. So that's where the idea of foot comes in. So we have what we call 1 foot. And so iambic pentameter has exactly 10 beats to the line. But wait, Mrs. G, how do I figure out the beats? Think back to elementary school when you were working with breaking a word down into syllables. Typically, the teacher had you clap to break a word into syllables. Let's take the first line of the poem, let's clap along, and let's figure out how many syllables each word has. If I break a word into 2 or more syllables, I'm going to draw a line to show where I broke the word into syllables. So follow along. Shall. Nope, it's only got 1 consonant. Syllable. I. 1 syllable. Compare. Do you hear how when we clap it out or we say it, I'm saying 2 syllables? Let's draw a line down the middle of that word. The, to, a, summer's day. If you count up all of the syllables you have in that line, you will find that you have exactly 10 beats. So iambic pentameter is referring to our foot. And if you think about how we keep the beat in a poem, we never start with our foot down. We always start with our foot raised up. So the sonnet itself is going to begin soft. Think about your foot being raised. Then I'm going to, on the second syllable, put my foot down to begin the beat. That's the stress syllable. So my foot is going to tap up and down, up and down. So what does that look like? Let's go to the first 18 and let's take a look at it. So I'm going to grab the line here, shall I compare thee to a summer's day? And you should have already marked this up and discovered that it had 10 syllables in it. So shall I compare, there's a line down the middle, thee to a summer, there's my 2 syllables, day. How do I show iambic pentameter? Well, the letter U represents soft. And just think of it this way. My foot is up. I'm not making any noise. That's why it's soft. My foot's not hitting anything. It's in the air. Shall I, my foot comes down. My foot's going to go back up now. Compare the to a summer's day. So if you take a look at this, I've just marked up the iambic pentameter. How do I know? Well, let's count the letter of U's that I have in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ah, see where we're getting penta from, meaning 5? Let's count the lines, the emphasis. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is how we establish iambic pentameter. So step 1 is breaking the word into syllables and making sure you have 10 syllables in the line, And then going back and beginning with the soft, we go ahead and we use the soft symbol to show that it is soft, strong, soft, strong, soft, strong. So, what does rhyme scheme mean then? Well, I should have already numbered my lines on the side. If you notice the last word in each line, this is what rhyme scheme is referring to. Is there a pattern in the way each line ends? So let's just say the words. Day, temperate, May, date, shines, dim, declines, untrimmed, fade, owest, shade, growest, CV. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show how this poem rhymes, and the way that I do that is I use letters. So I'm going to begin always with the letter A for the first line, because that's this alphabet. We begin with the letter A. We do the same for rhyme scheme. So day is going to be the letter A. Now I'm going to look at the word temperate. Does temperate rhyme with day? No? Then I'm going to mark it with a different letter. Take a moment and guess. Did you get it? You should have marked it as B. Look at the next word, the word May. Does May rhyme with temperate? No. Does May rhyme with day? Yes, it does. So take a moment. What letter should we give that? Did you get it? You should have marked it with the letter A. So if we take a look now, we've got A, B, A, B. How about date? Does it rhyme with day or May? No. How about temperate and date? Shakespeare can be a little tricky, but if you notice, it rhymes. So we should mark this with the letter B. So I'm going to head and mark that with the letter B up here. So now I've got the rhyme scheme of the first stanza, or what we call now a quatrain. And the reason we're going to call it a quatrain is if you count the lines, you'll notice that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 lines that have this rhyming pattern of A, B, A, B. How do I know it's only 4? Look at the next word, shines. Well, that doesn't rhyme with any of the B words, temperate or date, and shines doesn't rhyme with day or May. So I'm going to move to the next letter of the alphabet, and I'm going to show that this one is the letter C. So now that I have that one marked as the letter C, I'm going to move it up over here. I look at the next word, and I notice that it's dimmed. Well, dimmed doesn't rhyme with anything previously, so I'm again going to move to the next letter in the alphabet, which is the letter D. So now if you take a look at what I'm doing, I am establishing the rhyme scheme here. I've got A, B, and if you notice, it keeps going with C, D, declines and shines rhyme, C, and then again, untrimmed and dimmed, D. So I've got A, B, C, D, C, D. I have another quatrain. Go ahead and finish applying the rhyme scheme, and you should discover you have 1, 2, 3 quatrains. But wait, Mrs. G, what about the last 2 lines? What do we do with those 2? Because it's not 4. If you notice, those last 2 lines are just exactly 2 lines. So what do we do with those? These are considered a rhyming couplet. First of all, look at the last 2 words in them. If you did your rhyme scheme properly, you should have gotten A, B, C, D, E, F, and then you get G, these last 2 lines, G, G. So they're not a group of 4. They're not a quatrain. Because they're 2, what do we call 2 people that are together? A couple. So this is considered a rhyming couplet. So this is important for you to understand. A sonnet always has 3 quatrains and 1 rhyming couplet. So at the end of this now, you should have finished marking already the remainder of the rhyme scheme. You should have labeled each quatrain with a little bracket on the side. You should have labeled the rhyming couplet here at the end, and you should have also marked 2 lines of iambic pentameter.